The good part of this is, and still remains, is that interpersonal connection.
There's a principal in, I don't care, South Carolina, who's doing it, that I know if I connect you and them just for half an hour on a Zoom or Google Meet and say, okay, let's go, let's do this, let's share some best practices. We learn.
As teachers, we are very encouraged, we are motivated, and we try our best to ensure that our students get the best form of education that there is.
I would literally call my teachers into a meeting and say, listen, smarter, not harder. This is how you use ChatGPT to get your lesson plans done. Tweak it, submit it, save you some time.
I mean, thank God I was able to get on the plane and come to Jamaica, but we didn't have to.
Yeah.
Right? You could have done this virtually.
I'm looking at where education is going, and I find that the change that needs to be done here is vastly different, or it's going to take way more than even if I was at home. So resources are here, but you are in a traditional space. So we have that tradition, but at the same time, I have a bit of leverage to guide the program. But I think the major challenge generally is mindset. Everybody, teachers, I am born to teach, and therefore I stand before the class and I deliver. Okay, they heard you. What now?
So but it's funny because you talk about the mindset of the teacher. Tell me the mindset of administrators, principals. You know, I see you more of a progressive type of principal who literally understands the direction that education will be going, but then there's people who've been doing it for a very long time that are very conditioned to see education one way. Tell me about the mindset of colleagues that you've seen, whether it's here in this community, throughout the island, or just abroad. Like, what do you see by way of mindset for principals?
It's pretty much the same thing. I think principals are more focused on the administrative, getting the day-to-day done.
Yeah.
Again, it comes down to mindset. What are we looking at in 5 years' time? Or are we just looking at ensuring we finish the school year strong? And most people are really just trying to finish the school year strong. I mean, nobody's thinking about using ChatGPT and saying, hey, use this to get your lesson plans done rather than sit to get your lesson plans done.
Good afternoon. My name is Donovan Aline. I'm CEO of Innovation EDU. We empower students and ignite curiosity through hands-on learning, through STREAM activities and curriculum. Not everybody wants to be an early adopter. Not everybody wants to be an early adopter. And a lot of times, I mean, even in our name, Innovation EDU, innovation is always changing. So not everybody wants to be that first person to jump on it. I would say that's maybe one of the biggest challenges. But besides that, I think once people see other people are doing it, or if they want to be that early adopter, the sky's the limit, and they can really do some powerful things.
I like this thing of linking it because it will give, certainly, I can give you some ideas on how to deal with it. But you can certainly give me all the ideas of the tools that can help my job.
This is the man who make anything happen in Jamaica. When you talk about education and things like that,
Education, there are no thieves in education. We take what we see anywhere else. We make the tweaks here that's relevant to our context, and we do it. And wherever it is, the internet has certainly brought all of it to your table, to your phone. Not even to my table, because the boys use phone more than anything else. But learning what is out there is key to making, I'll give you a big headache now that we have. We really don't know how to solve it yet. Everybody's learning it. What is the impact of AI on what we do daily? So I'll give you a simple example. So we had a 50-50 policy. homework, 50% of your mark, classwork and assessments, another 50%, and we kind of skew that. No, you have to be very careful how you decide what is all their work because of AI. You also have to manage that because you don't want to kill AI either. AI is the way forward. The world is just like when the internet came and we were saying, boy, you know, they must read books. Read which book? Nobody's not reading a book. But you have to, they're going to be on the phone. If it's not on the phone, they're not reading it. Then if you don't show them something and do something, when I came, they offered me a whole set of encyclopedia. I tell them to keep that because it's going to stay there and take up space, brethren. So AI is the new wave, just like when the internet came. Those of us who lived through that change in the internet, this is what's happening with AI now. It's a fantastic, amazing change that's growing. We are learning how to deal with it, and we will never have it covered. We are learning from other people and asking them, so what you all do? Because we have a problem, and we also have an understanding. Should we allow boys to use the AI to do all the work they're doing? Because that's where the world is going, you know. Don't fool yourself, you know.
So what's your take on that, though?
No, hold on, man. It's a biggest thing that, you know. Let me start with where I was. When I came to JC as a schoolboy, we were using log tables. And then we used slide rules. And then the calculator became a big thing. The world changes rapidly. You don't want to embrace change, you're going to die like a dinosaur. Just remember that. So AI has to be, we have to factor how we use AI, how we learn from it. There's going to come a time when you don't need to store all of this. It's going to be there. What you need to know is how to access it. There's going to come a time. The world is changing rapidly. The problem with us is that we are not changing in education as rapidly. So we sit down in the classroom, same way like church, line up in front of the picnic. When the children making most noise, we're saying them disruptive. That can't work no more, brethren. That dead. And so the AI is a real challenge because now we have to find a balance between a lazy boy who doesn't want to read, know anything, understand anything, doesn't need, he just presents a work which you know is not his. He gets 100% or 90% on it.
One of the goals that we reached for this team trip was getting our hands dirty and actually being able to interact with the leaders, with the students, with the teachers, to see what they need, and also to understand that this doesn't happen in silo. Some of the problems that they're having in Jamaica, in Kingston, or in St. Anne, the same problems that we see in the Bronx, in Queens, and Staten Island. So it's about bridging that gap and making sure that we can connect these educators together to be able to do some powerful work. The principal of JC, Jamaican College, the all-boys school, so the principal was very receptive to what we were speaking about and just of how he can improve with integrating AI. And not right now, I think it's at like a 1 or 2%, but being able to have it throughout where his teachers are using it as a resource, and it's not just something where don't use that. Because it's not going away. It's just like the calculator. They said the calculator, no, you're not gonna have a calculator in your phone you're not gonna have a calculator in your pocket all the time. Everybody has a calculator in their pocket. So how do we embrace with that? And I think is a good example of being able to be receptive to different changes. And also just a personal thing. When I saw him, I saw a bunch of different leaders, especially with Eagle Academy in New York City. It's all boys school, so there's one in every borough. And I know the different challenges we're dealing with an all boys school. So I think it's powerful, and I can't wait to be able to connect him with some of those leaders to be able to continue this work.
Hi, how are we doing? My name is Damian Kenwood, Dr. Damian Kenwood, some people would call me, the creator of the series of ERC conferences. And today we are on site at one of our schools that we're currently working with in Charlemont, Jamaica. It's so beautiful here, being in a school like this. School sits on 36 acres, and walking around the school, we are seeing students just in a natural learning environment. And it's just inspiring being here. Like just being in this environment, see why. It shows you why you got into the world of education. It inspires you. And this is what I'm trying to bring as many people to as possible. Get them to experience this. On our journey here, we have met with a bunch of principals so far, and we are looking to develop those relationships that our schools in the States, in the rest of the Caribbean can benefit from, because there's such richness when it comes to education on this island.
Good morning, everyone. This is Valdin Legister Vice Principal, welcoming you to Charlemont High School, where we strive for excellence. Our motto, as it says, striving for excellence. Everything that we do here at Charlemont High School, we encourage excellence. So if it's in education, academics, we encourage excellence. If it is in performing arts or the sports, we encourage excellence. Our students are very active, they are very motivated, and they are willing and ready to participate in whatever activities that the teachers ask them to do.
There's so much things that they're doing that if you're not here in person, you won't get it. So I am looking to see how many educators we can bring back here in March when we come back for our conference. I want to bring as many people as possible and have them experience this, like education in its rawest form. Throughout our visit, one of the common narrative that I've seen is how can we leverage technology to bridge these two worlds? So one of the key focus that we're going to be looking at is bringing artificial intelligence into the classroom and using that to actually bridge some of the professional development that we're going to be doing. Part of what we're doing is we're going to be having professional development on an ongoing basis for schools in the Caribbean and in Jamaica, where they will be having simultaneous professional developments with schools in the United States. And we are going to start leveraging that, create that platform where learning takes place across the seas seamlessly. So we are excited when we come back in March with all our principals, assistant principals. When we come and we are in these spaces, we are seeing the fruits of those labor, of that work that we have planted. So I'm very excited about that.
Greetings. My name is Dr. Dennis B. McKeezy. I'm a longtime educator, almost 30 years in this profession. From school aid teacher, assistant principal, executive director, professor at Columbia University, and now CEO and founder of the Off School Grounds Coalition. And this trip here to Jamaica with my brothers Damien and Donovan truly allowed for me to look at leadership in a different way. Being able to walk through the Norman Manley International Airport and get that feel of pride, knowing that my father, my grandfather, and my grandmother all walked through this airport to come to America. It really reminds me of how important it is to leave a legacy. And so coming back here and realizing the importance of not only building schools and building legacy and developing leaders in America, but also thinking about how I could do the same thing here in Jamaica. So I'm really happy that I got on the plane to come here and really see what's happening here in Jamaica.
I can't wait for you to come out to Jamaica and experience what we experience with these educators, learn, experience the culture, so that way you can even have more impact in your school building or community. And look forward to having you here. All these children are creative and be able to have that joy. When we went into every single one of these schools, the smiles that lit up on their faces when we walked in as guests and visitors to their school. But I would say one of the positive things is creativity. And if given the opportunity, every single child can show what they're capable of. When we're able to accomplish these goals, it's going to have a drastic effect on the economic culture and economic stability of Jamaica and any area that we're at. Because if we're able to get our students to be thinking different and being able to prepare them for jobs of the future, it's simple math. If they're going to become potential earners and earn more, they're going to spend more, the economy is going to have more resources, we're going to have more jobs. So I think in 10 years, if we're doing it right, We'll have those high school students get certifications, filling some of the jobs that the United States can't fill and that are global, that are well-paying jobs, and be able to keep on building on the infrastructure of Jamaica. And once we do that, we'll be able to replicate it in other places. But I'm extremely excited of what we're going to be able to do for this country.
You guys ready? 3, 2, 1, OSG! Beautiful. Wave to the camera real quick. Wave, wave, wave. Love you guys. Thank you.